Hi guys, it's Booty here, and I just wanted to say that I appreciate all of the support in my last video, and I definitely feel a lot better, and I finally got to do more Showdown matches, because finally Showdown decided to fucking work. So I've got a random team here. Like, I honestly took like part of my old sand team and just like threw it in there, and then like I threw in like the new Therian form, so that's cool. And I noticed that he has a rain team. So I love having Weather Wars because I feel like it makes the battle so much more interesting. So here, I need to preserve my Tyranitar. My goal needs to be to take out that Politoed so I can have my Tyranitar Sand prevail, because that's also going to limit the amount of damage that the Therian form, his Tornadus, is going to be able to do, especially since it like relies on the Hain and Hurricanes and whatever. So I noticed he has Scizor and Haxorus, and then he's got Rotom and Amoonguss. Now, he doesn't really have much else that's going to benefit from rain except for Rotom, so that's fine. Scizor is probably banded, and Amoonguss is there for defense, and it's probably the normal set with Spore and whatnot. I'm not really fearing that too much, but I do need to keep my Rotom around, because that is going to help me a lot, because first of all, it's scarfed, and it can take on Politoed or whatever, and it can also trick something on his team if I have to later, like Amoonguss. That might be annoying, so I feel like that's also useful. But main thing here is I want have my weather prevail in the end. So he does lead off with Politoed. Now, I thought he would, so I lead off with my Rotom Wash, and I felt like that's going to scare him out, so I'm safe to go for a Volt Switch, which is alright. I get some damage on Amoonguss, and, you know, any piece of damage works, so I decided to go into my Therian form here. Now, I lower his attack, but I kind of don't know what I was really going with here. It's not like I didn't really have anything I could have, like, gone in to really scare it out per se. I went into my Therian form just so I can U-turn just in case he wanted to switch, but he Spores, and to be honest, sacking Tyranitar to Spore probably wasn't the best option, but it had to be something, and I figure I somehow thought that was okay, and then I brought in Breloom just so I can also hit back with a Spore, because I'm definitely going to outspeed him because I run Jolly on this. I know people like to run Adamant, but I feel like that's a bit, it's a bit meh to me, but whatever. So I guess he decides to stay in and sleep and whatever, and he's going to switch out. Now, I set up a Swords Dance, and I feel like I know what's coming. He's going to want to U-turn, because he's not going to want to go for a Hurricane in the sand. So I have to switch out, and I'm going to go into my Jirachi. I feel like if he U-turns, whatever, if he randomly decides to Hurricane, sure, whatever, Jirachi can take it. So I run a this set really like makes absolutely not a lot of sense, because I run Specs, but it worked out here. I tricked the Scizor Specs, so I'm like, okay, so the Scizor is basically useless. It's not really going to be doing a lot of damage to me. So he goes for Superpower. So first of all, he loses out on attack now, and he loses out on defense, and now that I intimidated him, he has even less attack, so it's the perfect opportunity for me to bring in my Landorus, because it's going to take absolutely nothing from the Scizor now, and like I feel like I can just keep bringing in Landorus, because Scizor with Specs is pretty much useless. So I know he's going to switch, so I'm just going to go for a U-turn. That gets off a lot of damage. Now keep in mind, I'm banded. I like running banded, so his Rotom gets hit. I bring in my Latias. I'm thinking that I'm going to resist both his stabs, so he's not going to want to stay in, and I was right, but he went for Volt Switch. It turns out he's not. I don't think he's running like a defensive set, because those don't usually carry Volt Switch. I think they usually carry like Thunderbolt, Hydro Pump, Pain Split, and like Will-O-Wisp or something. So Scizor comes in. I'm like, okay, I can just go into my Landorus again, get the Intimidate off. He's gonna go for whatever. It's U-turn. I'm gonna resist it. So I'm not really taking a lot of damage from that. And he goes into his Therian form now. So I'm not really sure what to expect other than like Superpower or U-turn, something physical, but I guess he goes for Hidden Power, and I honestly was not aware that they carried that now, but I guess that's an option. But I go into my Jirachi luckily, and I resist that. He goes for the U-turn, and I do take a bit of damage, which is okay, but I think I go for Oh my god, this set is so gimmicky. I'm like, Doom Desire, go. I kept Doom Desire on my Pokemon Battle Revolution Jirachi, and that shit was the best. But that actually, I feel like that helped me later on in the match. I go into my Latias, and he gets whatever, Ice Beam or Hydro Pump crit, and I'm like, whatever, screw that. And Doom Desire hits, it takes out some of his hit points. Now, I feel like later on, this amount of damage that it did to it, it's going to help me a lot. So, I mean, on the same perspective, I was thinking about going for Thunderbolt on the Therian form there, but you know, it's for fun, guys. It's all, it's for fun. So I kind of left Latias in. I don't know why. Honestly, I could have easily just gone into my Landorus again and, you know, resisted it, but I felt like then he's gonna go into his Therian form again anyway, but who knows. So I have a Rotomir, and he's got a Scizor out again, so I easily just Volt Switch. I don't have a problem. He's at 2%. I'm like, damn it, why couldn't you just take it out? But once again, I can just easily go into my Therian form and resist it. This thing is amazing. I love this thing. And I can outspeed it and hit it with U-turn because Bullet Punch still would not have done a lot. So I get Switch Initiative. I go into my Scarfed Rotom. I'm like, okay, so is he... Like, I don't understand why he went into it, but, like, I took a chance. Like, he could have been Scarfed, but I took a chance, and thank God I did, because now he's stuck into Dragon Dance, and it's definitely not a threat to me anymore, because a Haxorus with Dragon Dance and, like, whatever moves that's Scarfed now isn't really that big of a deal. So, I go into my Tyranitar to get the sand up again, because I figured... After, I was thinking here, as long as I get up sand, I can take out this Rotom Wash, as long as he stays in, so I was right there because he gets hit by sand, so that's it. As you notice, we still haven't gotten rocks up, so I guess his team doesn't even carry them, but I felt like I had to sack Tyranitar, and I think it still worked out okay for me, to be honest. So he goes for U-turn, and okay, judging by the amount of damage that Hydro Pump did on Latias, I was thinking, even though it was a crit, it did a lot to a defensive. It was like max HP or something, so I thought that did a lot, so I assumed he was Specs. I knew he was choice in some way, so I thought, okay, I'm going to take the chance here. I'm pretty sure he's Specs. I'm going to outspeed him, and this is where I win the Weather War, and this is where the game starts to become mine. Because I've got my sand up, so basically I can sack Tyranitar at this point if I need to. And at this point also, I'm definitely not intimidated by Therian form anymore, so I don't mind sacking Jirachi, because who the hell is going to go for a Hurricane in sand, you know? So he goes into his Haxorus here, and I go into my Landorus because I don't really fear him being able to knock me out with a move. I mean, he goes for Dragon Dance, forgetting that he's Scarfed, and I went for Stone Edge. I thought he might have switched because of the drop I gave him, but he forgot that he had Scarf, and that's where he forfeits, and that's where it ends up being my game. So I thought it was a really interesting battle, and I had a lot of fun. I know I feel like I have a problem with this team. Like, it wasn't made to be perfect. Like, I don't have like a fire type anything on it yet, or I can work with it. I can work with it. It was a lot of fun to use. That's all I'm going to say. And I'm definitely in a much better mood. And I'm a lot happier. So if you guys want to see more of these, you can just leave a like. That's how I know you guys are enjoying my stuff. And I'll keep doing them if that's what you want. And I hope I'll see you guys in the next video. And I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. And I love you guys.